The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Arizona.
ASU super sophomore Trent Lockett looking to put a positive spin on what has been a struggling season. Challenge today, though. One of the elite scorers in the country, super junior Klay Thompson. It's Washington State at ASU now. Sun peeking in and out today on an overcast day on campus at Tempe, Arizona. ASU, where inside Wells Fargo Arena, as we said, late in the season, it's rebuilding time for ASU. Now, Washington State, they are certainly thinking about a trip into March into the NCAA tournament. Hi there, folks. Glad to have you back on campus. This is Tom Kuyper, former Sun Devil. My name is Daron Sutton. We trust your week has been a good one. The year, it has not been a good one for the Sun Devils. They have lost 11 consecutive Pac-10 games, and you pile on to that tough education that today they play without a couple of seniors. Ty Abbott, Rick Kuksix, not out there, not able to play. But again, you come to college for an education, and they do learn.
Well, I've seen a lot of upsets happen in situations like this. Some players are hurt. That forces everyone else to rally together and kind of dig down and pull something new out. And we might see that happen this afternoon.
There is one senior who can help lead. Jamel McMillan has experienced this. It certainly isn't what he planned on. He is the starting point guard with a lot of freshmen all around him. He explains the challenges his squad has undergone.
It's a test of character for these guys and this ball club. And obviously, we've had to step up to the challenge each and every night and, try to put together two halves, 40 minutes. And, remaining positive has helped us, get better, in my opinion, and, constantly make improvement individually as well as collectively. So I think because we've seen improvement in certain areas and certain guys are seeing individual improvement, it's been a little bit easier.
Now, for Washington State, the #1 scorer in the Pac-10 is Klay Thompson. He was a bit late to the team bus this morning, so he won't start, but something tells me he'll still drive the basketball game.
Yeah, we're in for a treat this afternoon. Klay Thompson, when you look at the Pac-10 stat sheets, he's all over the place. #1 in scoring with 20. #1 with the amount of threes made. #3 in assists. #4 in steals. So it just tells you he's a complete player, and he does everything for the Cougars.
All right, certainly glad to have you with us again. What can ASU learn going forward? Youngsters will get opportunities today. What will they make of it? Glad to have you with us on campus. It's the Devils and the Cougars going toe-to-toe. If anything, don't forget about this. Washington State has designs on that NCAA tournament. ASU would love to change those initials from NCAA to NIT. They'll have a chance right after this.
To introduce Wendy's natural cut fries with sea salt, we've set up a human chain from coast to coast. So taste our best fries ever and pass them on. Pass them on. Share the news.
We only use whole russet potatoes and sprinkle them with sea salt for a taste as real as it gets.
Oh, come on!
Come on!
Come on!
Finally, a fry worth sharing!
You know when it's real.
Share the fries!
Ford is leading the way in Arizona. And now, during President's Day weekend, your Arizona Ford dealers will match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Get up to $2,500 cash back on Edge, or 0% financing for 60 months on Escape. Plus, during President's Day weekend, we'll match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Hurry in. These offers end February 21st. Go to your local FordDealers.com and visit your Arizona Ford dealers for a test drive today.
There are over 358 million trillion gallons of water on Earth. But not all water is created equal. Only 1/10000000th of 1% is filtered naturally beneath the Earth, with a distinct balance of minerals, and emerges crisp and refreshing enough to be called Arrowhead. Arrowhead 100% mountain spring water, born better.
For your Arizona sports news, log on to foxsportsarizona.com.
Pac-10 Hoops on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. By Cellular One. Of one at Cellular One, providing nationwide cellular coverage with home coverage in northeastern Arizona and New Mexico. And by Pulte Homes. Live beyond measure. Visit pulte.com/PHX. The band has been struck up. Washington State again looking to win on the road. They're 7-7 in the Pac-10 ASU. Just one win in Pac-10 play. They hope to certainly change that today. Let's take a look at the Washington State lineup. And again, we told you Klay Thompson comes off the bench. I would imagine it won't take long. D'Angelo Casto, it needs to be pointed out, he lit up ASU in a huge outing earlier this season. The head coach is Ken Bone in his second season overall, 34-23, played his college basketball at Seattle Pacific. He is Seattle born and raised, now does his work in Pullman, Washington. We spoke of opportunity. When you speak of that, it is truly represented in the starting lineup for ASU. Look at the freshmen and sophomores across the board. Chance Creekmer, the young man, gets a chance to start out of Marshalltown, Iowa. Can be electric from the outside. And of course, Corey Hawkins, a rare start. Jamel McMillan will anchor it all as the point guard. Herb Sendek at the helm. A challenging season, the reigning Pac-10 Coach of the Year. And again, working his players very hard in shoot-around today. We will explain, but first Tom Kuyper will explain keys to this basketball game.
Well, let's talk about ASU. Number one, they've got to attack the basket. Last time in Pullman, their percentage wasn't very high, just under 33%. And defensively, lots of energy. They feed off what happens on defense.
That is part one. Part two, roll call. Kuyper's taking us in to the classroom to describe Washington State.
What do on offense? They try to get the ball to Casto. Casto's in here. They'll try and open it up for him. They'll put guys way out here, leaving the backside wide open. Thompson's got the ball. They'll dump it into him. They play well together. Watch this. Thompson will have the ball. Casto will set this pick. He'll dribble off it. Casto will roll the basket. They'll get the ball to him in here. Two guys will come up and guard him. He recognizes it, dumps it off to another one of his players underneath. Great teamwork.
There will be a test. D'Angelo Casto has passed that test, 25 points against ASU on January the 20th in a win. A little bit more of the absentees from this basketball game. Let's bring in Jody Jackson. Jody?
Well, Daron, as you know, injuries have made a tough season even more difficult for the Sun Devils. Today, they're without two of their seniors. Ty Abbott, not able to go after being injured in the second half of the Washington game. He was going for a steal, and he comes down with a left shoulder injury. So he is in street clothes today. Also, Rick Kuksik's not able to go. He was injured against U of A, an ankle injury. There was some thought he might be able to go today, but it appears he will still remain on the bench. And for, these guys provide that three-point shooting for the Sun Devils. A tough spot. It is an opportunity, though, for a number of guys to step up, including Corey Hawkins, who is the Arizona State high school scoring leader, guys.
Ty Abbott, 1,282 career points, but he is just looking on today. It is an opportunity, honestly, time to move on if you're a young player. You can't worry about Ty Abbott if you're Corey Hawkins and if you're a young man like Chance Creekman. Time for you to seize the day. We're glad you're with us. Let's play some college basketball on campus at ASU. The lone senior is the point guard, Jamel McMillan. He's played much better in February, twice as many points per game as the 5 he scored in January, and nowhere close out of the gates the first attempt.
Washington State opened up in a 2-3 zone that might help them now that Ty Abbott, Rick Kuksik's are on the bench. So I would imagine they're going to try and stick with that 2-3 zone with those guys sitting down.
We will see how long it takes for Klay Thompson to enter into this basketball game. I would imagine as steps are called on Casto. Tell us a little bit more about Casto, why he's so dangerous.
Well, he's so strong underneath, and their offense goes in and then out. If they can dump it into Casto and create that crowd, that bunch up inside in the paint, it'll open up Klay Thompson on the outside. So their offense has to go in before it goes out. He'll get the touches a lot this afternoon.
And so we will watch that turnover, and Casto, that's the part of the Sun Devils game they really don't excel in right now. That's finding that man, that big body on the inside. He stands 6'8". It's not as if he's a 7-footer, Casto. Reggie Moore with the basketball. Swinging that over to Capers. Up and underneath, not a real good look at all. McMillan fights, takes it away from Castle. Up front, lead pass to Corey Hawkins, the freshman out of Goodyear, Arizona. Talked about Corey getting the start. 3,164 high school points. That's Chance Kriegmer. He also gets the start. The pride of Marshalltown High School in Iowa.
See, Chance Kriegmer coming into the game knowing Washington State's going to play a zone. He couldn't sleep last night. For a shooter, you love to play against the zone, and that's exactly what he wanted to have right there.
The foul and count it. The foul is whistled on the freshman Hawkins, his first. Moore will go to the line, the sophomore in the Seattle native.
You just got to stay out of foul trouble here. You're going to watch this. See, he got his defender up in the air. Corey Hawkins goes up, and then he reads it, puts the ball on the floor, and then makes a nice shot. Corey's got to learn to stay down, and then once the person he's guarding goes up, he just can't go up and try and block it all the time.
Little passion behind the rebound of Kriegmer. Lockett goes baseline. Hawkins, three. A bit firm off the back of the iron. We saw Moore put that bucket away. A basketball family, no doubt. His cousin Aaron Brooks plays for the Houston Rockets. And there he is again. Also Brooks played at Oregon. Reggie Moore with the three. Moore not a strictly three-point shooter. About half of his shot from outside of the arc. Another three-point attempt. Making the most of his time as Hawkins. Of course, the son of Hersey Hawkins, who had a fine collegiate career at Bradley. Lockett all the way up and under, missed it. And Hawkins in the right place at the right time. That'll be a foul on Abe Ludwig, the redshirt junior out of Oregon.
I tell you, just in a couple of minutes here, Hawkins has already put the ball up twice. He's going to the offensive board. I like what I'm seeing so far. And he tipped that deflection away and started this transition game.
Hawkins saw quite a bit more playing time in that Washington game, though it was not a win for ASU. Hawkins played an unheard of 18 minutes in that game, had 7 points on Thursday night. I'd imagine that's what answered Herb Sendek's question. McMillan for three. Jamel McMillan again having a much better month in February, averaging over 12 points a game this month.
Man, come on, let's give Hawkins a little credit on that too. Going aggressively to the basket and finding someone to dish off to.
Brock Modem, the sophomore, the Australian native, out of the Australian Institute of Sport with that bucket. Modem averages about 7. Beautiful fight and slice by Trent Lockett, the leading scorer at nearly 14 a game, the sophomore. Washington State played down in Tucson on Thursday night. 3-second lane violation turns it over to ASU. ASU and Herb Sendek's squad played at home against Washington. A 79-62 as they came up short. Haven't had 15 in that game. The story in that game, again, it's been a common story. The missed free throws for ASU and just not as many trips to the line as Washington took.
And that's what they've got to change. They've got to play offensively more aggressive. They've got to get the ball to the hole. I tell you, I'm seeing it so far as we see Hawkins go again to the hole and come up with another nice pass and an assist.
Now that, for Trent Lockett, is a step or two outside of his comfort zone, and that's good to see. Why not take that shot?
And look at Corey Hawkins coming down the floor. Way too excited. Look at him. He's all excited. He's creating things on the offensive end. I love it so far for Corey.
Moore with an answer. Already red hot, a couple of triples. Moore averaged 13 points a game as a freshman, averaging just 10 this year as a sophomore. What a big bucket there for Moore, who helped his squad beat in-state rival Washington a couple of weeks ago. Casto, rebounding machine, grabs that one. And they play without Faisal Aiden, the junior, who averages 13 points a game, Washington State. The explanation, a knee problem, enough to have him sent back to Pullman, Washington.
And that's a lot of points to go without for this afternoon. 13, he's in the top 20 in the Pac-10 in scoring.
He's a junior too, so he's experienced. one's just stripped away from the big fella.
See, they're collapsing their king on Castro right now with Thompson not in the game. And so that's why they're able to get those hands on the ball and get these turnovers.
Boy, that was pretty. A little left-handed jump hook, the freshman out of Calumet City, Illinois. That's Kyle Kane with the bucket. And Kane has been quiet. His last couple of weeks' worth of games, last 14 games, only 4 points a game. He was averaging nearly 9 points a game. First month and a half. A miss, an air ball. Here comes Lockett. Kriegmer again. Firm. There's a chance for Kane. McMillan for three. And another miss. 30-second timeout. Washington State head coach Ken Bone called it with the Devils leading it by 3. Lockett contributing both sides, and the outside part of it surprising.
Yeah, and that's what he's got to be able to do. Bring in different parts of his game. Look at him slice in there. He's got such a nose to get to the basket. And then here you got Hawkins drawing in the defense, finding Trent Lockett in the corner. He's a great shooter. You just don't get to see that much from him because he's working so hard taking the ball to the hole. But I like it when he shows that side of him and that dimension, because it's going to create the defense to make adjustments. If they go out on him, then he gets to come into the glass. So I like when you get Trent to shoot from the outside.
A little bit of a reality about to set in as number 1 is going to check in. Again, the man who was a few minutes late, he must have loved the team breakfast, Klay Thompson. The leading scorer in the Pac-10 says, all right, gentlemen, I'm here to restore order with his club down by 3. A very special player, the junior out of Ladera Ranch, California, went to Rancho Santa Margarita High School. They won a state title there. Nearly 1,600 points career, and he's a junior.
Yeah, he's some kind of a shooter. He's got great form. When you watch his right wrist when he releases the ball, you can see it's just picture perfect.
Many already theorizing that he's playing in his final couple of weeks in college. And he will be headed to the next level where his father played very successfully, Michael Thompson, who is in attendance in the ball game. The lid on the bucket, so Thompson misses his first attempt. He's put it up 406 times this season.
Well, and that time Baczynski's coming out to the corner, and he had a 7'2" man with a long arm span in front of him, and I'm sure that had to distract Thompson a little bit on that.
Well, I'm glad you pointed out Jordan Baczynski in the game, the freshman center out of Alberta. Stands 7'2", stands quite a ways away from the bucket now, and a traveling violation. We will step aside. Thompson is on, as is a 7'2" center. Can they play through the middle, these Sun Devils? I think they have
to. Get to Nissan now for holiday bonus cash on almost every Nissan. This is Nissan Now. Get extra savings through Monday on sedans, trucks and SUVs, crossovers, $500 bonus cash on top of all other offers, plus 0% on most Nissans. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today. Bonus cash ends Monday. Get in now.
This could be the year. We have high expectations. We think that we can be very competitive in our conference.
We have very good team chemistry. They like each other. They really get along.
We want to play up and down fast. We want a lot of movement, pace to what we do.
Expect our team to really play hard.
Be effective inside.
I love the game of golf, so much so that I put a golf simulator in our studio. Although one Danette, I think, took it just a little too far.
Boys?
Can you believe this guy?
It's like ego.
Yeah.
Hey, Kobe, I just want to thank you very much for taking the time for the Dan Patrick Show.
I really don't know how he's going to explain this to his wife.
We are Arizona.
Ty Abbott, the only player in ASU history to have this trifecta, 125 mark for steals, games, and double that for three-pointers, 260 there, but the only one to have those two marks, and then over 250 three-pointers made as a senior. Ty Abbott, and that doesn't even tell you about the blocks, the defense, the leadership, all that he does, the graduate of Desert Vista here in Phoenix. And Ty joins me now. Jody Jackson back with you courtside. Doubles up by 3 right now. And Ty, unfortunately, couldn't go today. A left shoulder injury. How did that happen at the end of the Washington game?
It just happened in the second half. I was trying to, strip the big man, and as I was reaching down with my arm, his momentum pulled it up and kind of have an awkward angle, so it just didn't, sit well for me.
At this point in time, do you think it's something that will keep you out possibly next weekend as well?
No, I don't think so. I think, if I give enough rest and get the treatment in, I think I should be good for next weekend. There
isn't much that keeps you out, and we've seen that by the number of games you've played. Are you aware of your spot in ASU history, games played, starts?
No, I think somebody's trying to tell me about it, but I don't really know, everything.
Yeah, well, 114 starts in 125 games, but for you, watching the young guys, and Corey in particular taking your spot today, what's it like? How have you mentored them?
It's definitely different, but, I just tell them, be ready, be aggressive, and, go out there and play basketball. That's what they do.
All right, Ty, hopefully we'll see you back on the court very soon. Daron?
Very good stuff, and we wish him well, and certainly trying to heal. When you talk about his plays, he is at 3,866 minutes. Abbott in his career, only Eddie House, the only player in ASU history to go over 4,000 minutes. Jeff Pendergraft, 120 starts, Abbott 115, and it will stay at that mark right now, number 2 all time. Good to see the young man into the basketball game. Keala King training the first one, the freshman out of Compton, California, Mater Dei. Very fine academic and athletic school in Southern California. Tyler Lamb went there. Gary Franklin, who went to Cal, who goes to Cal, is from there.
Well, the Sun Devils have scored 15 points. Daron, 10 of those are coming off of turnovers because the defense that ASU is putting on Washington State right now. You talk about defense, and then you see the Pac-10's leading scorer come up with a nice off-balance leaning layup like that.
And some leaping ability, by the way. It's the first time I've seen him play in person. I've watched him on television. There's an answer. The freshman, Chance Kuyper's got 6. Kuyper's played more. Over his last 3 games, he's played a total of 60 minutes.
I'm telling you, he was excited last night. Couldn't get sleep because he knew Washington State plays that zone. And for a shooter, that's just so exciting to come into a game playing a team that plays the zone.
Casto just took Paczynski to school. ASU, by the way, started 1 of 5 from the floor. They're 5 of 8 since. So they have not lost their aggressiveness. Let's see if Jordan battles here. Now, Jordan's 21 years old, the big fella in the center. Spent his time away from basketball for a mission.
Against this zone, you've got to move the ball quicker than this. You just can't pass the perimeter. You've got to make fast, or you go in the hole.
Come on! Carrick Felix hammers that one home. Carrick helped to win that game in Oregon, the lone win this year on New Year's Day. He had 19 points. It's the only game they've won in the pack. Offensive foul. I'll tell you what, the dunk, electric. The heartbeat is there for this club, though, and I think that's key. And if you lose that heartbeat, just shock it with this.
Going on right now. Get 1.9% APR up to 60 months on a 2011 BMW 328i. Financing available through BMW Financial Services. Get the deal you deserve from the name you trust. BMW North Scottsdale, Scottsdale Road at 101, and BMWNorthScottsdale.com.
They're coming. Seems like from every wireless carrier. You may have heard them already. The doubtcasting, the empty comparisons. While they shout them at the top of their lungs to try to blur the lines. In the end, just ask yourself, does the network work? This is America's largest and most reliable network. Verizon, built so you can rule the air.
I love America. I love my pet bald eagle, Brock, my bison, Sarah. I love my pickup with the custom Constitution paint job. I celebrate jury duty. I love America so much, I'm making an all-American Jack combo. 2 jumbo patties with melting cheese, lettuce, tomato, and pickles, plus fries and a drink for only $4.99. I've celebrated every American tradition, except one. Spring break Cancun, yay!
Try the All-American Jack and enter to win an All-American Spring Break for you and 10 of your friends.
Going on right now. Get a 2011 BMW 328i for $479 a month with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, and only $479 due at signing. Financing available through BMW Financial Services, BMW North Scottsdale, Scottsdale Road on 101, and BMWNorthScottsdale.com.
Defense was the focus in shoot-around today, and I mean passionate Herb Sendek. He bodied up, did the big fella, Jordan Paczynski, and you and I were debating if, in fact, it was a charge or not, but you'll explain why it was.
Yeah, let's look at this, and we'll freeze it right when you get to the spot. You're going to see right and freeze it right there. See, he's off on the side, but look at that shoulder coming down. That's why he picked up that foul.
And those two already battling right out of the gates. And the reaction's classic there, and good to see. That's what you talked about, though, for me, and for my money watching this team play. You talked about in the open, look, there isn't a notable superstar this year. You have 2 seniors that are injured. Can you pull it together? And there's that other great thing, the word opportunity.
Yeah, and have they not seized that so far? Corey Hawkins taking the ball to the hole with a lot of confidence, and Chase Creekmuir hitting the long ball so far. I tell you, these freshmen have just stepped up.
Now, can the gas tank stay full? That's the challenge, because they are playing with some emotion right now. And we talked about that shoot-around today. As Lockett goes all the way, and that's an offensive foul right back the other way. Stepping up and under and doing a fine job was Brock Modem.
And that's a good call. You'll see it as Trent's coming in right in front. Yeah, too bad for Trent, because that was a nice move.
But Sendek was saying this morning that he expected great communication on defense. He also said any hatchet fouls, if you put them in the 1-and-1, if you put them in the bonus, we will lose. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's why that was good to see by Paczynski. Another good defensive play.
I tell you, they are swarming all over the place defensively, and they're causing Washington State to make some bad choices on their passes. Wow. We talked about earlier, Darren, ASU's game comes off of and stems from what they do defensively. And look at this, they double Klay Thompson out. He has nothing to do but throw out that long pass. Calla King reads that beautifully and steps in there and picks it off and goes down for a fast break layup. That's the way they've got to play that defense.
And he was reminding them this morning, knowing he had a bunch of youngsters out there. Lockett will sit, Creekmuir will come in.
Darren, look at this lineup right now. You've got 5 first-year Sun Devils out there, 5 of them.
All right, well, let's get it and go. And when you're 1-12 in the pack, why not? When you're trying to grow and to figure what you have going forward, Herb Sendek is watching very closely. Points off of turnovers, ASU. 12 points, nothing for Washington State. So the defense has charged and shoot-around today has been key thus far.
So look at Phoenix coming out hard. Look the way they're playing defensively. All over the ball, on-ball defense, activating the ball. Their hands are active. And let's watch this. See, Felix is right there. Look at his hands. Look at him activating the ball. That's the way that Herb Sendek wants them to play. Look at him applaud Carrick Felix as he comes out. He's saying that's the way you've got to play this defense.
Felix sits down. He's got 3 assists already. Modem tried to will that one in. Instead, after the follow miss, a rebound, and it's grabbed by Hawkins. McMillan back in, the senior, serving as the point guard. And again, as we mentioned, McMillan has been shooting more of late. At just 6 points in the loss against Washington. He did have 3 assists.
You can't hold that ball. You got to move it or put it up. Why not?
Kayala King with the 3.
Wow. We're taking a quick glimpse at the future, maybe, Darren.
Thompson looks to answer back. The Sun Devils by 11. And right away, Klay Thompson gets closer to 1,600 career points. He's got 4. Boy, nice pass by King. And it traveled. A beautiful pass, though, by Kayala King.
Yeah, what he did is he drew the defense to him. Look at him, he's bringing the defense up and then lays it off. That's too bad. It was a travel. Good call. He's trying to gather his feet to go up strong. Unfortunate.
There's some bounce in the step for King. You can see the confidence. You could see it when he was warming up with a smile on his face. That's the first career 3 for King, by the way. As Modem underneath puts that one home. Modem wears number 12. King was 0 for 12 from long distance before making that one.
It's all about confidence and opportunity. You need to have more chances.
No follow to be had. King underneath. Kane looked to hammer it home, the freshman. Thompson. Firm. A little bit of a push to grab that rebound, but Ludwig gets away with it. About 8:20 to go here in the first half. Glad to have you with us. Tom Kuyper, I'm Daron Sutton. Jason Lewis is our producer, Mike Roth, our director. And a whistle on Kriegmer there.
See, that's where Kriegmer has to step in a little bit quicker. He just got there too late. That's what you have to do up at the top. When they penetrate, you've got to step in. You've got to block that off. 2 people on Thompson when he's gone. Look what happens here. He's going to dribble in, and Kriegmer's going to come too late. See, all he did is he got his left hand, and you got to get your body in front.
Nice job there, though. Kuyper did not fear anything defensively. Out of bounds. Sendek passionately disagreed. Look at the top of your picture. It's off his knee, he says. Herb Sendek along the baseline saying it hit his knee. They get together and overturn it. I love when officials communicate.
And look, we just talked about Kriegmer. Now look, he's going to get his hand in there. Very nice. Yep, right off the right knee. Good call. Good call, Coach Sendek.
Will DiOrio off of his knee, the freshman out of Bainbridge Island in Washington. Chance firm and off to the right, misses that one. The series is tied dead even, 34 wins apiece all time. ASU swept the series last year for the first time in a long time, looking to avoid being swept this year. Tried to make something out of it in the middle. Lockett's got it. The 7'2" Paczynski's in the basketball game as well at center. We'll keep an eye. Comes up empty. McMillan misses.
And then we got another turnover.
And to the line, Jamel McMillan.
Well, you never, that's a cardinal rule. You never foul on a fast break and let the ball go in.
And they did so with a man that stands just a tick over 6 feet tall, taking it all the way coast to coast. The lone senior leading the way.
Cars have changed over the years, and our members' needs have changed too. That's why over the last 100 years, AAA services have changed to provide you greater coverage and value than ever before. AAA Auto Insurance, competitive rates, reliable coverage. For a free insurance quote, call 1-800-INSURANCE, visit AAA.com or a local AAA office.
Nationwide unlimited plans. Talk and text for one low price with the hottest phones. Samsung Galaxy, Alcatel Avengeance, no Kia Rhythm, no roaming charges, no hidden fees, no mail-in rebates. And the power of one goes with you wherever you go, whether it's across the street or across the country. You're not just a number to us. Cellular One's local customer service representatives provide you with immediate assistance. No lines, no waiting. Come home to the power of one with Cellular One.
Ford is leading the way in Arizona. And now during President's Day weekend, your Arizona Ford dealers will match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Get 0% financing for 60 months on Fusion, $1,500 cash back on Mustang, or 0% financing for 60 months on Taurus. Plus, during President's Day weekend, we'll match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Hurry in. These offers end February 21st. Go to your local FordDealers.com and visit your Arizona Ford dealers for a test drive today.
A couple of jerseys hanging from the rafters. ASU up by 9 here in the first half. Thursday night, Lionel Hollins and Byron Scott, 2 ASU greats, honored, and joining Joe Caldwell, having their jersey honored and handed Tigers here at Wells Fargo. Hollins played from 1973 to 75, averaged 17.3 points per game, the 6th pick overall. Byron Scott from 79 to 83, the number 4 pick overall. Of course, a champion with the Lakers, and both now head coaches in the NBA. Hollins with Memphis, Scott with Cleveland, and both of them said that their time here at ASU really shaped their careers and the discipline that Ned Walk instilled in them to have the type of career they now have as head coaches.
The good stuff, Jody. I know you were very proud to be there that night as a part of this program, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was on that committee that helped select these guys, but even more the other night, it was a thrill for me. Played 3 years with Byron Scott, and to play beside a guy like that and to be a part of a career like that was really a thrill for me to see his number come down from the rafters.
Both All-Americans during their time, obviously, both long, successful careers in the game, and careers that were celebrated on Thursday night as Washington State visited. That time, Casto too much for the freshman. Casto's got 4 points in this game.
Paczynski's got to learn. He's got to put that foot on the line. You know, he picked up that offensive foul earlier because Casto lowered his shoulder, not because of his position. So he's got to learn, get the body in front, put the foot on the baseline.
28-20 is the score. 6:31 to go. Tipped high in the air and knocked away. Right back at you, though. The Sun Devils have it. ASU, 9 of 19 from the floor thus far. 5 of 13 from long distance. And 5 of 5 from the line, which is a good thing. Hawkins, how about that?
Why not? Why not?
They talk about, you know, winning ugly in games. There's a thing called shooting ugly. If it goes in, you're fine with it. Not a shooter sound there.
No, and you see, Corey hesitated just before he went up, and he's got to learn not to do that.
Thompson missed it back the other way, but hey, Corey will take it. Again, 18 big points. That one, he did not get the roll. After the stick on the back of the iron, McMillan could not get it to turn over. McMillan grabs the rebound. And I should say for Hawkins, 18 minutes in that game against Washington. Felix. And a foul there on Paczynski. Corey Hawkins, the freshman out of Goodyear.
See, he's going to get this pass, and he's going to wait a little bit. See him hesitate just a tad. That's what you can't do, not at this level. You've got to be ready to shoot actually before you even get the ball, not after you receive it. He'll learn that.
Well, there's a Ruslan Petit sighting. He is checked into the basketball game. The 7-footer out of Moscow. There in the middle, working on Casto now defensively, who will try to bully as he did with Paczynski. Kuyper into the game as well. Lockett sits down.
Look at that, another steal, another forced turnover for the Devils.
Knocked out of bounds. Clearly looked like it was tipped by Washington State. Clearly looked like it was knocked out of bounds by Washington State. Let's see this on the other end.
Look how hard they're working. Look at Corey Hawkins getting his hand in there somehow, getting on the floor. Look at Sendek coming right beside him too, encouraging him. Boy, a lot of energy right now.
And the discussion now is about the shot clock. Did the shot clock reset as the ball bounced around? You can see the turnovers per game. Both handled the ball very, very well. And Washington stayed with a total that you know Ken Bone is frustrated about.
21.
So they gather together. I'm still trying to figure out what they're talking about.
Offensive fouls on 0. Offensive fouls on 0.
So they whistled a foul on Carrick Felix?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to figure out. There was an offensive foul and the ball goes out of bounds. They're trying to figure out what happened first.
The officials are looking. We see what the officials are seeing as you look at the officials.
Yeah, see, Carrick Felix gets picked up with an offensive foul, and they're probably going to whistle that before the ball goes out of bounds. Yeah.
Kuyper's taking a look right now at what the officials are saying as well. In fact, this is what you were seeing in our isolation monitor.
Yeah, you're going to see Felix right here dribble to his left. Right here's the offensive foul, and then there's the ball going out of bounds.
Well, I'm glad we have you with.
Well,
I mean, if we didn't bring you along in tow, we'd still be lost knowing what was going on. Good stuff. And again, solid officiating to get together and get it right.
It's been a good job.
11-point Sun Devil lead. Free throw line certainly one of the stories. Sun Devils will tell you we're just about embarrassed with the way we've shot free throws this year, but they're making their opportunities so far. Castro throws that elbow around, swings it on around, and there's an answer. A three-pointer drained by Abe Ludwig. Just a 27% three-point shooter, but he hammers that one home.
See, and that's the benefit of having an inside man like Castro. Everybody collapses on him. Castro finds the open man from the outside.
And that is something the Sun Devils are still, well, they tell you it's a work in progress. They just don't possess that inside game right now. They have 2 7-footers, but they don't possess an inside game.
Now Washington State switched to a man-to-man, which I think is a good move by Coach Ball. Look at that pass by King. But that's the kind of finish that the team has to have. Even if it was blocked, he needs to finish that.
And they might have counted that one. And I think they did.
They did.
Hammered up and pinned against the backboard. Great vision, great pass. And you can count that one.
Let's go! Let's go! The Subway Fresh Fit 500, February 24th through the 27th at Zoomtown, USA, Phoenix International Raceway.
Go Harvick! Go Borden! Go 88!
Go Tony Stewart! For tickets starting at $25, call 866-408-RACE or visit PhoenixRaceway.com. The Subway Fresh Fit 500.
Let the go begin.
Serving businesses across every industry, E-Squared is your partner and single source for telecommunications and information technology solutions. E-Squared can help you reel in your wireless costs by explaining carriers' complex pricing structures, reviewing and monitoring your monthly billing statements, and ensuring that you're receiving competitive pricing for your service. Doing business in Arizona since 2001. Call E-Squared today to schedule a free review of your business wireless plans. And if we can't help you, we'll buy you lunch. E-Squared Communications, 602-371-1500.
Get to Nissan now for holiday bonus cash on almost every Nissan. This is Nissan Now. Get extra savings through Monday on sedans, trucks and SUVs, crossovers, $500 bonus cash on top of all other offers, plus 0% on most Nissans. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today. Bonus cash ends Monday. Get in now.
Devils up by 10, visiting Washington State, introducing Car Warriors, the only show where a team of all-star mechanics take on a team of average Joes in a 72-hour race to build the ultimate ride. It's Car Warriors. It premieres Wednesday at 9, 6 Pacific, only on Speed. Keala King taking things to a new speed.
A little bit of swagger here with his pass. Look, he looks right past his left. You know, you haven't seen that from these freshmen yet because they haven't been playing with that kind of confidence yet. And you can tell this afternoon, Sendak has just sent them out there and said, hey, we have nothing to lose. You guys just go out there and have fun. Play the game that you did in high school. Play the game that got you that scholarship over here, and we're seeing that. I love it.
ASU is down 7-6 at the 16:51 mark. Since then, they have outscored Washington State 27-16 on the scoreboard.
Again, we talked about how important this defense is. ASU has scored 18 points. That's over half their points off of turnovers.
Interesting storyline developing with Thompson, as that is a miss from King. Thompson is now 2 of 8 from the floor, the leading scorer in the Pac-10. Blocked by Ruslan. Nice job defensively. He did not start in the game. And when you're used to starting, every single night is that one is turned over. Every game that you play in, when you are Klay Thompson, you start, and you're the star. come up a few steps late to the team bus. Coach tries to send a message, and he hasn't been the same player. 2 of 8 from the floor, just 4 points. Now, I knock on wood as a Sun Devil, if I'm a Sun Devil, but he's been quiet.
Darren, there's a huge difference in starting the game mentally and then coming off the bench. It's a whole different kind of attitude, whole different kind of game. And again, look at Chase Creekmuir coming up again with the 3. These freshmen have played their hearts out so far in this first half.
Chance Creekmuir's got 9 points. He averaged 2 coming in per game. He's got 9 already in the first half. Thompson has been visibly frustrated on the court, and he just turned it over. That is a season and a career high, by the way, for Creekmuir.
Look, this is when you don't hesitate. Look, he was stepping in. If you saw his right foot is stepping into the pass, meaning he is shooting the ball mentally before the pass comes to him. That's the sign of a good shooter.
Turnovers are the story, defense the story. Herb Sendek served a big platter of defense with his breakfast to his team this morning. And he made it clear that it will be the focal point in our game. At one point he said, you know, you guys, you put your hand on a stove and you burn it. Don't do it anymore. Don't make the mistakes you've been making defensively, but you've just been putting your other hand on the stove this season. Right now the only thing that is hot is ASU.
The Cougars sticking with that hand-to-hand. There's going to be an offensive foul. Good read, though. Sendek doesn't like it at all.
Will Diorio stepped in, was in the right place at the right time. The passion of Sendek. You know, this is a head coach of a club that is 1-12. And if I support this squad, if I'm sitting in the stands, that's the passion I want to see from my head coach.
Well, and as a player, too, Darren, I mean, these guys are feeding off of his energy. Sendek hasn't been into this game like he in the other games as he is this game. And I'd love to see that, and the players are feeding off of that.
Abe Ludwig with a 3-pointer, the native of Bend, Oregon, out of Mountain View High School in Bend. Did he lose the basketball? Yes, he did. Sendek had a great quote after the loss to Washington. We'll share at some point. Big fella, little firm. McMillan high, cups that ball. Lockett streaking. And Trent Lockett with a pair. He's got 7. Devils by 12.
But we are seeing a completely different kind of game. Playing so tough defensively and then getting the ball out quick, scoring on the transition game.
Shut down on Castro Moore all the way, and he is taken down by Ruslan Petit. To finish the thought on Sendek and his quote after the game, I thought it was the most telling of his entire press conference. Herb said, and I quote, "I refuse to get frustrated. If anything right now, I'm just feistier than ever." Feistier than ever.
Now look at him, too.
First one is good. We want to remind you, the NASCAR is coming to town. Be the first to watch Daytona 500 winner race in the Sprint Cup Series as they make their stop February 27th at Phoenix International Raceway for the Subway Fresh Fit 500. PhoenixRaceway.com if you're interested in heading on out there and enjoying a great weekend of NASCAR. Sendek is known for his study of youth and understanding the mind that goes inside of these athletes. He's quite an interesting study from this side of the court as well. Too many steps to try to run a violation on King. Career wins for Herb Sendek. I would imagine, no matter how you slice it, he didn't imagine he'd be dealing with just 9 wins this year, 1 in conference. Reigning Coach of the Year, he was the ACC Coach of the Year in 03-04. Miss Lockett's got it under 30. Shot clock is off. Hang around with us halftime. Take a look at the numbers. Jody Jackson, her perspective and insights. Kuyper will break things down as well. And again, an opportunity. You made sure that coming on the air in our open, we needed to talk about the youngsters and the opportunity. What have you seen?
Well, it's everybody stepping up. And I love the way that Hawkins played at the beginning. Really was a spark plug. And then Chance Kuyper coming in, hitting some threes. And these guys are playing with a lot of energy, but I like the way that they're playing with confidence. And that's something that you can't get unless you get playing time. And that's what's happening this afternoon. And I think in a way, Herb Sendek is sending a message out that's saying, this is a quick look at our future.
A very quick look. Why not have it be a look the rest of the way? You can see the freshman, 23.6 assists. The rest of the team, the old guys, 15 points and 4 assists. King's got 7 points. He leads all freshmen. I checked that. Kuyper's got 9.
ASU averages about 64 points a game, while ASU's on task to get 76.
Think about the reward that goes into this as well. They've practiced their tails off all year. It's kind of, with his quick math, tells us it's been an offensive first half. And it keeps on, keep it on. That bucket at the buzzer, that's an old man, that's a sophomore.
Yeah. That's why Herb Sendek called that timeout. He wanted to get the ball to his best shooter, let him go to work, and then you go into the locker room with a lot more motivation and encouragement. You're going to see Trent, look at that first step. He takes it to the left and gets up quick before the defender has a chance. That's why they wanted him to have the ball with his hands at the end.
A pair of seniors seated comfortably on the bench, unavailable, watching this basketball game. The freshmen have taken over. Kuyper's got 9 points. King has 7 points. The big fella, Baczynski, is doing his thing defensively. The young, well, we'll see. Can they lead them again in the second half? More basketball.
Coach has a saying, I am because we are.
It means we are all connected.
We cannot be ourselves without community.
It stresses collective success over individual achievement.
I belong to a greater whole.
I am my teammate's keeper.
I am what I am because of who we are. That is the African philosophy of Ubuntu.
We are! The most important thing is that we're all in this together.
There are over 358 million trillion gallons of water on Earth. But not all water is created equal. Only 1/1000,000,000% is filtered naturally beneath the Earth, with a distinct balance of minerals, and emerges crisp and refreshing enough to be called Arrowhead. Arrowhead 100% mountain spring water, born better.
Mechanics love hisses. They love squeals. They love knocks and clanks and clunks, faint vibrations that blossom into rattling and clattering. Warning lights unnoticed, and cheesesteaks. They love flaws, defects, and people who put things off. They love the unrelenting, corrosive, erosive, wearing and tearing powers of nature. What do they hate? The Honda Civic, the most durable, longest-lasting car in its class.
Spring training baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is presented by AAA Insurance. The Diamondbacks take on the Rockies as they play their first spring training game at their new facility next Saturday at 1 on Fox Sports Arizona Plus.
The Daytona 500 returns to Fox Sunday.
One goal, one dream. It's the AIA High School Basketball Championships, presented by Farmers Insurance. Watch the 4A Division II Championship starting at 10 a.m. with the girls' game, followed by the boys' championship game at noon on Fox Sports Arizona. And on Fox Sports Arizona Plus, you can catch the 4A Division I Championships with the girls' game at 4, followed by the boys at 6. Log on to foxsportsarizona.com for channel listings. That's all next Saturday.
For your Arizona sports news, log on to foxsportsarizona.com.
The youngsters, the freshmen leading the way for the Sun Devils. ASU with a 40-point half. They lead the Washington State Cougars by 12. Jody Jackson back with you courtside, and the senior Jamel McMillan has 6 points at the half. Now off the court during the week, he's done a terrific job for us here on Devil Ball on Fox Sports Arizona as a reporter, and he's been able to talk to other student athletes in a segment called The Crossover. He's explored football with quarterback Brock Osweiler. He's hit the mat with wrestler Anthony Robles, and this time it's tennis in this week's episode. He takes on Kelsey McKenna. She's a senior. She was an All-American 2 years ago, so Jamel hits the court to see if he can return her blistering serve. Check it out.
Well, being a basketball player, there's a lot of lateral movement, especially on defense, and I understand tennis is the same way. And I've been catching a lot of heat so far, you know, from people saying I can't return one of your serves. So
no, you can definitely
as an advantage, you obviously play the game and very, very good, but I'm going to need a lesson or two on how to actually return some of your serves. This is not going to be good at all. Oh!
So be sure to check out Jamel. I also had the chance to talk to Lionel Hollins and Byron Scott on Thursday night as their jerseys were lifted to the rafters here at Wells Fargo Arena. So check out Devil Ball every Wednesday. It premieres at 5:30. Stay with us. Much more to come here as the Devils are up by 12 at half.
Surprisingly priced at $15,995, the all-new 2011 Jetta has arrived. Discover German engineering and premium style on the Jetta S, with best-in-class rear legroom and trunk space, as well as no-charge scheduled carefree maintenance, all standard. That's great for the price of good. Right now, lease the all-new Jetta S for just $179 a month. Visit VWDealer.com today.
You can have something Washington and Lincoln never had. A superb night's rest on a space-age memory foam now at Bedmark. Priced at just $3.99 for a Serta Perfect Elements queen-size mattress. An amazing bed at an amazing price at Bedmark for President's Day. Now!
Don't settle on a foreclosure or a short sale for your dream home, because new really fits you. With a new Pulte home, you choose the perfect home in the perfect neighborhood and options that fit your family. Plus, your Energy Star certified Pulte home comes with a 10-year warranty and award-winning customer care, saving you even more. Try finding that in a short sale. Come visit one of our 25 Pulte communities valley-wide and find the perfect home for you, because new really fits you. Visit Pulte.com/Phoenix.
Now 3 can dine for just $9.99. Come share 6 freshly prepared pieces of the Colonel's world-famous chicken, any large home-style side, and 3 biscuits, all for under $10. Now 3 can dine for $9.99 only at KFC. Tastes so good.
This President's Day weekend, there's never been a better time to join the more than 500,000 people who just joined the Hyundai Revolution. For 4 days only, get 3 incredible deals like the 35 MPG Hyundai Sonata, only $199 a month. Or choose from 2 incredible offers on Hyundai crossovers. Hyundai Tucson, only $259 a month. Hyundai Santa Fe, only $299 a month. 4 days only. Join the Hyundai Revolution at your Valley Hyundai dealers today.
Suns basketball is on Fox Sports Arizona. The Phoenix Suns return from the All-Star break, ready to make a run at the playoffs when they take on Joe Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks. Wednesday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arizona.
It's a President's Day free giveaway. Come into Bedmark, buy any qualifying Serta mattress and get a down alternative comforter. $129 value for free. Hurry to Bedmark for President's Day and the biggest savings on Arizona's best mattress selection.
Lakers great Michael Thompson in attendance this afternoon, the #1 pick overall in the NBA draft in 1978. He's also Klay Thompson's dad. Klay with 4 points here at the half as the Devils are up by 12. And for ASU, only 1 regular season home series remains. Be there as the Sun Devils host Oregon and Oregon State on March 3rd and 5th. Arrive early on the 5th as seniors Ty Abbott, Rehards Kuksix, and Jamel McMillan will be recognized prior to their final home game here on Ned Wolf Court. Great seats are available, and they start at just $10. Get your tickets online at sundeviltickets.com or by calling 480-727-0000. Second half coming up, Daron, Sutton, Tom Kuyper with highlights, including Carrick Felix with the dunk. Doubles up by 12.
Coyotes are the hottest team in the NHL. It's a battle of conference powerhouses as they hit the road to take on the Eastern Conference's top team in the Philadelphia Flyers. Tuesday at 5 on Fox Sports Arizona. Get a snapshot of Tyson Nash's playing career before he became a Coyotes broadcaster.
You need to be the most hated guy in the National Hockey League.
Snapshot Tyson Nash, Wednesday at 5 on Fox Sports Arizona Plus.
In celebration of President's Day, Sanderson Ford is giving you an additional $500 cash back on most models. You still get all the huge presidential incentives and rebates from Ford, and you still get additional big presidential discounts from Sanderson Ford. Plus, now through Monday, get an additional $500 in presidential bonus cash from Arizona's largest Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford.
We're Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
Nationwide unlimited plans. Talk and text for one low price with the hottest phones. Samsung Galaxy, Alcatel Avengeance, Nokia Rhythm, no roaming charges, no hidden fees, no mail-in rebates. And the power of one goes with you wherever you go, whether it's across the street or across the country. You're not just a number to us. Cellular One's local customer service representatives provide you with immediate assistance. No lines, no waiting. Come home to the power of one with Cellular One.
This month, Fox Supports Arizona recognizes Today's Kids, Tomorrow's Stars, an event celebrating the extraordinary youth of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metropolitan Phoenix. Join Honorary Chair Roger Penske on February 26th at the Sheraton Phoenix downtown for an inspirational night including dinner and live auctions. And take part as the 2011 Boys and Girls Club of Metropolitan Phoenix Youth of the Year is announced. To purchase tickets or donate auction items, go to stars2011.org.
Best part of the game, the youngsters, the students, the younger sisters. When the kids come and light things up, that's what makes it fun to call a college basketball game here on campus. Tom Kuyper, Daron Sutton, and here's what has occurred. This man has been like a little kid watching the freshmen play, so we made an executive decision as part of our Cellular One highlights. You've had so much fun watching it. You take these highlights.
Well, I tell you, it all started from the defensive end. We talked about energy on defense. That's what creates ASU's wins, is what they do on defense. They have forced 12 Washington State turnovers. Now get this, they've scored 21 of their 40 points from turnovers. That's the way you win ball games. And then offensively, they have shot 52% from the field. When they played in Pullman, they only shot 33%. They're playing with more confidence. They're not waiting. Look at that, 52% from the field. And I love what they're doing with rebounds. They finally have matched somebody with rebounds. And then, of course, we talked about the turnovers. Forcing 12 turnovers, 21 points off of those turnovers. That's what wins you ball games.
We need a break so he can take a breath. A great job, Tom Kuyper. Glad to have you with us. There's those kids again. Kuyper, the kids, and you when we come back.
Let's go! Let's go! The Subway Fresh Fit 500, February 24th through the 27th at Zoomtown, USA, Phoenix International Raceway.
Go Harvick! Go Borden! Tony the 8!
Go Tony Stewart! For tickets starting at $25, call 866-408-RACE or visit PhoenixRaceway.com.
Get set, go!
Clear behind the 82, go, hard. The Subway Fresh Fit 500.
Let the go begin!
How are those flat rate boxes working out?
Fabulous. They gave me this great idea.
Yeah?
We mail documents all over the country. So what if there were priority mail flat rate
envelopes?
Yes! You could ship to any state.
For a low flat rate?
Yes, a really low flat rate.
Like $4.95?
Yes! It could look like a flat rate box.
Only flatter. Like this?
You, me, genius!
Genius.
Priority mail flat rate envelopes, just $4.95. Only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Hey, that's one of those new internet TVs.
Yeah.
Then why so bummed?
My cable internet bill is way too high. I have to cut back.
Let's turn that frown upside down.
It's the Quest Heavy Duty Internet. Wow. It has 99.9% network reliability to power TV apps, stream movies, and more for just $19.99 a month.
That'll save you more than $150 over cable.
There's the happy guy.
Call now and ask how to get 2-year price protection.
Not just a job search. A journey. Not just a call to arms. A calling. Not just a paycheck. A path. We're all here for a purpose. Find yours at Grand Canyon University. Transfer to GCU and discover your path toward a better future. Visit transfertogcu.com.
Get to Nissan now for holiday bonus cash on almost every Nissan. This is Nissan Now. Get extra savings through Monday on sedans, trucks and SUVs, crossovers, $500 bonus cash on top of all other offers, plus 0% on most Nissans. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today. Bonus cash ends Monday. Get in now.
Pac-10 Hoops on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now, get the All-American Jack combo with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. And by Bedmart, for the best selection and the lowest price guaranteed. Now, before you go to bed, go to Bedmart, your locally owned mattress store, and save. Beautiful state of Arizona. Glad to have you back on campus at ASU. You know, when you're 1-12 in Pac-10 play, do you think as a coaching staff you ever sleep? Did you maybe have a chance to catch your breath for just a second at halftime? Jody Jackson found associate head coach Dedrick Taylor to talk about the first half. Guys?
Hey, Coach Taylor, a 40-point half. You did it with a number of youngsters. How did these guys take their game to the next level?
Their energy level is just completely different. We created some turnovers and got some easy baskets, shooting the ball fairly well from three. But our energy level and our effort is just so different, and the guys are just coming out, and they're just playing right now.
How much do you put into their confidence level, too? Because it appears like guys like Kiala and Corey and Chance seem to be more confident in this game.
I think they just kind of bought into playing hard. Confidence is coming. It comes with success, but success comes with playing hard. If we can get our guys to play hard consistently, 40 points and good defense does the trick.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Thanks. All right, guys, confidence, playing hard, it all goes together, Daron.
Very good stuff, Jody. And as we start the second half of play, Moore with 10, Lockett with 9, Kriegmer with 9 as well. A couple of youngsters at the bottom there. And again, the storyline that we will stay on, and clearly will stay on the fact that Klay Thompson has just 4 points. The leading scorer, number 1, he just dumped it underneath. Casto has just 4 points. He just missed that shot. For me, that's your other huge story. Thompson and Casto, 8 between them.
Well, especially when Thompson just scored 30 down at McKell Center, U of A the other night. Says a lot about ASU's defense.
And he did not start. Thompson did not start. A little bit of tardiness, whether it was leaving for the team bus. That's what we were told. But I'm thinking you're not the same player when you don't start. If you're used to starting every single game.
You're exactly right.
Missed another one. Thompson with a miss, 2 of 9.
It's the way that you prepare mentally, and then your muscles, you warm up, you sit down, you got to warm them back up, and you come back in the game. He's not used to doing that.
It's blocked right there to grab it. Kriegmer with the follow, and a little teardrop drops.
And that's just the sense of being in the right place at the right time, waiting for the ball to come to him.
Kriegmer with 11 is well beyond his career high. Left that in the rearview mirror some time ago. Thompson still looking to find his swagger. He'll shoot it right away. Not even close. That is the leading scorer, folks, in the Pac-10. Number 1. He's 15th in the nation in scoring. This is a Naismith finalist. He just is not having a basketball game. Foul on the baseline. That foul whistle on Reggie Moore. Thompson has missed his last 6 attempts from the floor. Well, the other everything, sharing the basketball out there today, getting a chance is Corey Hawkins. He's got 5 assists in this game. He had 9 all year coming in.
Well, we've seen him take the ball to the hole, and he's learning how to do that and find an open man. And look at Trent Lockett finding an opening to get to the basket. He does that better than anybody else, finding a way to split 2 people and get to the hole.
You have to be strong and then skinny all at once. Use that strength to fight through and use that slender build to cut right through a couple of folks, and a foul on Kuyper.
Now, look what they did defensively on that series. They had 2 guys on Casto. Casto had nothing to do but dump it back out. He gets it out to Thompson. They had 2 Sun Devils on Thompson. Look what you got here. They're going to get it into look, you got 2 guys right there. He's got nothing to do. He passes it out to Thompson. You got 2 guys out there closing in on him. That's the way you play Herb Sendek defense, right there.
Klay Thompson averages 20 points a game in conference. His conference average has gone up by at least 2 every single year. Freshman, sophomore, junior. He kisses that one off the glass. Games like this are usually when he's at his best. As Kuyper just mentioned, he came off pouring 30 home in Tucson with 5 rebounds at Arizona. 5 3-point makes. 14-point deficit for Washington State. There's that slicing again. Shot clock is at 10. And a foul. Looks like they got Kuyper there, the freshman out of Winter Haven, Florida.
Now, what's going to be interesting to watch, Daron, is can these young players stick with the way that they played that got them this lead? Or are they going to try and hang on and just play the way that they can to just win? That could make a difference. These guys haven't had that experience yet. Let's see if they can step up and continue to play the way they did in the first half. One, I like that. It's okay they missed it. I probably went to the hole.
Shares the basketball with the foul.
That's on me. Come on, baby.
As that one is a tumble down hard, Reggie Moore. Somebody else may be watching this game very closely. This is a game in which if ASU can beat Washington State, severely damaging Washington State's chances of being an invite, should they not win the Pac-10 tournament. Washington State has beaten Gonzaga, they've beaten Baylor, they've beaten Washington. They've lost at Oregon, they lost to Stanford. They know this game is being viewed as one they're expected to win.
Well, and when you're a bubble team and you've got nice wins that you just mentioned, Daron, you can't afford to lose games like this. And you know they were talking about that in the locker room at halftime. They've got to come out and change things and stop ASU somehow defensively.
Casto will go to the line and you can count it. And a second chance and a quick foul and a little bit of Mr. Momentum moving onto the Washington State bench.
That's what you never want to have happen. That's a cardinal rule right there. On a free throw, you cannot give up the offensive rebound. You're already in position. You've got 4 in there. They've only got 2. You should not give it up. And there they just gave up 3 points. Casto just got hurt too. He hurt his right knee on that free throw.
Casto had a huge weekend last weekend, 36 total points against Stanford and Cal. He had 25 points in the win over ASU on January the 20th. You don't want to hurt yourself on a free throw. Defensive stand there as that one is blocked. They're going to look to get it into the hands of the scorer, and the scorer will go to the line, Thompson. Casto, since that game against ASU, has averaged about 5 more points per game. But you don't want to shake yourself up at the line as he did. Here's Thompson a moment ago.
And you know, you're going to expect to see him doing this more, Klay Thompson, taking the ball to the hole, drawing traffic, picking up fouls and getting the free throw line. You know, as hard as ASU played defensively in that first half, usually it goes hand in hand as Thompson makes the first free throw. It goes hand in hand with foul shooting. ASU only put Washington State on the line 3 times in the first half. Forcing 12 turnovers usually also creates a lot of free throws for the other team. It didn't happen in that first half.
Herb Sendek said it this morning. If you put them in the bonus and you do it early, you will not win the basketball game. It's a smart man and a successful coach. And he hopes they were words of wisdom instead of forecasting the future. Ruslan's looking to score a little bit firm. Somehow he gets it to go. Where did he come from? He had just disappeared.
And how did he get away? He had 4 Cougars on him. 4 Cougars, and somehow he slid through and got the ball to the basket.
You were talking about that earlier. Thompson. Boy, McMillan's got himself an assignment. Thompson's looking to take this game over. Klay Thompson is starting that role that I think everyone feared. He's got 10 points. A moment ago, Lockett, I think, disappeared from sight from just about everyone. But somehow, he gets it done. Klay Thompson says, I lead the Pac-10 in scoring. I've got an answer for you, young sophomore.
Ford is leading the way in Arizona. And now during President's Day weekend, your Arizona Ford dealers will match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Get up to $3,500 cash back on Super Duty, or up to $7,000 cash back on F-150. Plus, during President's Day weekend, we'll match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Hurry in, these offers end February 21st. Go to your local FordDealers.com and visit your Arizona Ford dealers for a test drive today.
This month, Fox Supports Arizona recognizes today's kids, tomorrow's stars, an event celebrating the extraordinary youth of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metropolitan Phoenix. Join Honorary Chair Roger Penske on February 26th at the Sheraton Phoenix downtown for an inspirational night including dinner and live auctions. And take part as the 2011 Boys and Girls Club of Metropolitan Phoenix Youth of the Year is announced. To purchase tickets or donate auction items, go to stars2011.org.
Trent Lockett has 13 points in this basketball game, and again, inside, outside, he's actually drained a 3 as well. Comes in averaging 14. And he's taking a lot of this assistance on his shoulders, helping these freshmen.
But I love that picture right there. Him, Trent Lockett going up with the 3. You don't see that very often. That's his marquee move right there. Somehow slicing between 2 or 3 defenders to get to the basket.
The other story on the other side is Klay Thompson. Thompson starting to heat up. In the first half, he missed his last 4 shots into the locker room. He was 2 of 8 from the floor, had just 4 points. He's made his last 2 free throws. He's made his last 2 field goals. He's got 6 points here in the second half.
The big difference there is that he started in the second half. You warm up, you get your muscles warmed up, you get your legs ready, you stay in the game. What happened in the first half, he warmed up, got his muscles ready, got his legs ready, he sat down on the bench, waited for 5 minutes, and then had to come back in and get warmed up again. He's not used to doing that.
He was held to just 9 points last year here in a loss to ASU. 9 points here. He is having a similar basketball game, but there's plenty of time left.
Interesting move. The Cougars went back to that 2-3 zone. ASU fared well against that in the first half.
When things go through the middle, it just has a different look. That time, Petit didn't dump it back out. Ruslan with the bucket. Seven-footers like Tyson Johnston, Alton Lister, Ruslan Petit, Jordan Paczynski, both on this year's squad. And Ruslan has been quieted some after having a couple of 10-point games at Oregon and Stanford. He has gone 5 straight scoreless games before putting that one in. And there's a foul. Gaston's been favoring that knee as he takes a tumble. When we come back, he will go to the line. The Cougars are making a run. Can it be stopped by ASU?
Jack, what is this?
My spicy chicken sandwich?
How long have you had a spicy chicken sandwich?
Forever. My spicy chicken sandwich is a classic, with a spicy, crispy, all-white meat chicken breast, lettuce, tomato, and mayo on a sesame seed bun.
I thought I knew you. What else are you hiding from me?
Nothing. I think she's on to us.
They're coming.
seems like from every wireless carrier. You may have heard them already, the doubtcasting, the empty comparisons, while they shout them at the top of their lungs to try to blur the lines. In the end, just ask yourself, does the network work? This is America's largest and most reliable network. Verizon, built so you can rule the air. Ford is leading the way in Arizona. And now, during President's Day weekend, your Arizona Ford dealers will match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Get up to $2,500 cash back on Edge, or 0% financing for 60 months on Escape. Plus, during President's Day weekend, we'll match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Hurry in. These offers end February 21st. Go to your local FordDealers.com and visit your Arizona Ford dealers for a test drive today.
Sun Devils up by 10 here in the second half, and Klay Thompson's dad, Michael Thompson, former #1 pick in the NBA draft in 1978, former Laker, now a broadcaster with the Lakers, joins me now. And Michael, I know you don't get this chance very much covering the Lakers night in, night out, but with the All-Star break, how nice is it to be here to watch your son?
It's very, I don't know, I guess I'm on edge. My nerves are on edge. I think I'd much rather hear the results after the game's over with, because it's tough sitting in the stands watching your kids play and pulling for them, especially when they're struggling like they are today.
Well, for Klay, obviously, he didn't get the start, so how much did that maybe get him out of his rhythm, although the Devils hope he doesn't get into it quickly here?
You know, that's where it all starts. I tell the kids, you got to have discipline. He was late for the bus. There's no reason to be late, and that sort of throws you out of rhythm, takes you out of sync, and as we see the results of it today.
Klay top scorer in the Pac-10, but this year he's become a different player. He's one of the best assist guys, rebounds. How did he transform his game into a complete game this season?
Well, you know, in high school he was a point guard. He did all these things. He was a playmaker. And when he got to Washington State, he was starting to become a one-dimensional player. And I said, Klay, you have to go back to playing the way you did in high school, which is being a complete player. And now he's starting to do that.
All right, I got to ask you the big question. I know Klay has said he's not going to think about it until after the season, but what is your advice to him about next year?
My advice about next year is just take this year first. Never worry about next year. He can't worry about the NBA, because if he does, that becomes a distraction.
Michael, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the day.
My pleasure.
All right, Daron, back to you.
While father was speaking, son was following with a bucket. He lost the ball for just a moment. Thompson is into double-digit land. And the lead no longer double digits for the Sun Devils, as Thompson has 12 points in the basketball game. And this was just a moment ago.
And just look how somehow he gets his hands on the ball. And that's a little Trent Lockett move there, finding a way to get between a couple people. But you know, he's got a nose for the basket, and somehow he knows how to get that ball into the hole.
A very athletically driven family, certainly. Mom played volleyball at San Francisco. Dad, you know about his fine career. Brothers that play minor league baseball, another brother that plays basketball at Pepperdine. Brother Michael averages 13 points a game playing for the Wave. Whitehead to have a pickup game, be a part of one in their backyard. And a whistle. And there they are. 12 years in the NBA, 3 titles with the Lakers. You see Mom certainly an outstanding athlete in college. And, you know, I'm a little bit biased towards the minor league. Trace plays in the outfield for the White Sox. Second-round pick in 2009. He's out here getting ready to start spring training. The minor leaguers report here in the next week or so. Big leaguers reporting today for the Diamondbacks, the everyday players. Rebounded back the other way. Here comes King. King was explosive in the first half. They'll need a little bit more of that now. See if he's playing with that same.
There it is. There it is. Love that move. Look at the confidence that he's going to the hole today that we haven't seen so far. And again, it just comes from playing time, playing experience, getting out on the floor and experimenting with it. Then you find out you can do it.
So Keala King contributes one more time.
It's going to be a walk.
Lockett's got 13, Creekmore's got 11, King now has 9.
See, it's one thing to get you into yourself into that position, but then it's another thing to finish. Now look how happy he is. Look at that. Yeah, a little bit of swagger today.
Yeah, you look at the numbers for King as he sits down. He's not ready to sit down. I don't blame him. I love his rebounding distribution. 24 offensive, 35 defensive. He'll bang the offensive board. Offensive foul. Blocking whistle for that one. Stepping in, doing a nice job. The sophomore, the Australian Brock Motor. 50-40. ASU 5 of 10 from the floor in the second half. 4 of 9 for Washington State. Wazoo is going to the line a little bit more though. There it is. Thompson with the 3.
Boy, look out. They keep crawling closer and closer at 7 now. This is when the mentality has to be not that we're going to hang on, but we're going to extend our lead.
If you think you may be caught, you will.
That's exactly right.
Instead of putting their foot on your foot on their throat, you just want to win the race. Let's see if this helps. There you go. That's about a size 13 boot right there, and keep him down.
And did you see how he didn't wait? And again, I said it earlier, he was shooting the ball mentally before he received the pass. And that's the mentality of a shooter.
Kuyper's got 14 points now, well beyond his career high. Lockett has 13. Thompson all the way with the miss and the follow. The follow is the easy part for Klay Thompson. He's got 17 points now. From long distance, he has been quiet. He is 1 of 6. Hit that back of the iron again. This time it did not go in for the freshman, Corey Hawkins. Klay Thompson is on a run. He's got 17, the junior who may be headed to the NBA. Chance Kuyper hopes he's maybe headed to the starting lineup next year, making a big statement.
We don't just make a sunroof. We make the heavens wide. We don't just make a crossover. We make a statement. The Cadillac SRX. We don't just make luxury cars. We make Cadillacs. See your Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Tonight on The Final Score, presented by Burger King. NBA All-Star Weekend. Hometown hero Blake Griffin looks to make his mark on this year's Slam Dunk Contest. In college basketball, #1 Kansas is at home at Lawrence, taking on Big 12 rival Colorado. And in the NHL, the Stars, the Canucks, a Western Conference showdown in Vancouver. For all today's highlights in 30 minutes, it's The Final Score.
Speed takes you onto the set of its brand new series, Car Warriors.
We are here on the Car Warrior set, and this thing is massive.
Junkers are going to be turned into works of art.
This is the parts cage, where our Car Warrior teams are getting all the parts they need.
You always have to watch your back here.
The Car Warrior set is every man's dream garage on steroids.
2 teams, 72 hours, in a battle building 2 supercars from scratch. Car Warriors premieres next week on Speed.
You're watching Fox Sports Arizona in high definition.
ASU leading it by 8. Klay Thompson, the story. He at one point missed 6 consecutive field goals. He has now made 5 of his last 6, including a couple of free throws.
Yeah, he's starting to heat up, and that's a bad sign for the Sun Devils, because once he mentally starts doing this, look out, because he's capable of getting 10 in just in a quick amount of time, and he's been showing that in the second half. The Sun Devils now only up by 8.
One of the fastest ever in Washington State history to reach 1,000 career points. He did it in 63 games. Steve Pedokis reached 52, one of only 2 better and faster. Jim McKean did it in 57.
Darren, the difference in the second half, Washington State only has 1 turnover.
Trying to follow, grab the ball, unable to do it is Lockett. Play back the other way. And that is a key point about those turnovers. Thompson with the 3. He's got 20. Shoots 42% on the season from outside of the arc, and he shoots it a lot. 183 attempts from three coming in. Modem out front wanted the ball. Twisting and turning, fires it back the other way. Follow jam, not there to be had by DeOrio, but a second chance for Washington State. Sun Devils by 5. The miss. And another opportunity. Ludwig, the fan, thought he might have crawled over the back. Thompson and Kuyper look each other in the eye. All the way, it was tipped just a minute. Boy, Rocket's going to go down the horn. Let's hope he's okay. He went up and over Modem's back. Chinsky on the ground as well.
Yeah, I didn't see Trent clearly getting that rebound foul.
And Rocket's got 4. And that's not good news.
No, that's not. Especially when you've had this confidence change that's taken place in the last 2 or 3 minutes. You want your scoring leader to get out, to stay out there.
And by the way, Herb Sendek made it clear to his players, don't put them in the bonus. They're in the bonus with 10-10 to go.
Boy, this has been a tale of 2 different halves.
It's a 6-0 run in the last 157 for Washington State.
First half, the Cougars shot 3 free throws. Second half, that was their 9th free throw. It's only halfway over.
Still they have the lead. They are the team that is at home with the lead. And what will their answer be? That one is booted, and let's see what the likes of Keala King can do. And Chance Creekman. Some key minutes being earned by Corey Hawkins as well.
Yeah, look at the foul differential. 7-2 in the second half.
Under 10 minutes to go. Bodies banging and battling and earning a foul. That's a fine job, DeOrio, and that's that energy and fight with King. That's good stuff.
Again, you got to credit King for staying down low, trying to establish position, fighting. When you're on offense, you've got the advantage down there. As long as you're holding ground, you can fight as much as you want. Once they make contact with you, they're going to pick up the foul.
Corey Hawkins has 6 assists in the basketball game. He's got the ball right now. He had 9 all season long prior to today. What about shooting it? Keala will post up. And a beautiful pass from King. Back up to Creekman. Got it! That extra last pass after the gorgeous one by King. Sharing the basketball. In the second half, Thompson has 16 of the 21 Washington State points.
See, it's all it takes, and you see the Sun Devils with more energy on defense, but then it takes a guy like Klay Thompson to turn things around. Wow, what a key shot for the Cougars right there.
What does King have? And a whistle and a foul and a frustrated look on the face of Reggie Moore.
Yeah, look at this. You got this nice pass. You had 3 guys on Kane. He gets it out to Creekman. Boy, nice 3. And then right away, Klay Thompson. Devils cannot afford to leave him open like that. You've got to know where he's at every second.
Marcus Capers into the basketball game. Dre Winston Jr. is in as well. Devils by 4. Tom Kuyper, I'm Daron Sutton, and you. So glad to have you with us. ASU with a big, really energetic second half. Now they're fighting more a little bit for survival. I should say first half full of energy. That one rings in and out. Creekman with the miss. And the crowd doesn't like it.
Boy, neither does Sendek. Look at it. If he had any hair, it's going to be gone now. Unbelievable, he says.
suit coat away. Educate us a little bit. To you, as you see that play, is that just a no foul call?
Yeah, that should not be a call.
Okay, just a no call.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, had the ball not gone out of bounds, that call would not have been made. But when the ball goes out of bounds, sometimes the officials feel like there needs to be a call made, unfortunately.
A 2-point lead. Washington State feeling like they're gaining and gaining. King all the way. But he missed it. He cleared himself. Fight for the rebound, but Casto's got it. They look to tie, better set, maybe take the lead. Thompson pull up. Very firm and a hustle tip right there.
Oh, look out!
Another chance for Casto.
Boy, this game's getting physical now.
It is getting physical.
Yeah, you're going to see that happen if the officials aren't going to call this closer. A lot of pushing going on that last series.
You were right on top of it.
I'm not so sure that's a guy you want to have on the other side of a fight.
Another well-analyzed comment. That's a big fella.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Casto, he's saying 6'8", 255. And he's frustrated now. Looked like the foul on Washington State, though, correct?
Yeah, they're going to have to figure this out. They're probably going to go look at the film, which it looks like they're going to now.
They say we just want to see the whole thing again.
So let's look at it. See, there might have been the first foul. Now you got another foul coming in there, and Casto coming in, pulling the arm.
Don't really see how you whistle anything beyond.
See, right there might have been the first one. Casto's upset and frustrating, yeah.
Beyond this is, I hate to say it, they've come in, they've restored order. There's no foul to be handed out with that. Body's bumping, a little bit of pushing. Didn't get out of hand. They came in at the right time. I understand they wanted to see it, but the foul was when Kane, they were reaching for the basketball. As I saw, you tell me if I'm wrong, that should be the only call.
That's exactly right, and that's where it should have been made. And I think that's what they're going to have to figure out when they look at the film.
There's an explanation being shared with Scott Parra, the assistant coach for ASU. Parra, part of that fine staff, Diedrich Taylor, Lamont Smith as well. See Lamont peeking in.
Now they're probably going to pull in both coaches and give an explanation, is usually the procedure. And here we go.
I'm a little bit confused here. I must be honest with you. There was a call that involved Kane. A little pushing and shoving. I don't see what there is to look at. There was one foul called. That should be it.
Yeah, there's the foul. It might have been Kuyper, but that's where the foul is.
Right here. It's not, you're right, it's not Kane. It's King has the ball. That's where the whistle was blown. Now the body's bumped, a little bit of bumping. Casto shove. King, I keep saying Kane. King had the ball. The foul was whistled.
UC Sendek pleading his case there.
Here we go. So it's a double technical on Casto and Keala King. And the initial foul that was whistled on Klay Thompson, that's the only foul. So there you have it. Double technical foul. Is that worthy of a double technical foul?
I don't know who got him.
Well, it was Casto and King, the two guys that bumped one another. Double technical. And then the foul on Thompson reaching in and grabbing at the ball with Keala. All right. Keala, offensive foul. Now remember, he was handed that foul just a moment ago. That'll be 3. ASU has played passionate basketball, fighting and clawing for just their second win in the Pac-10. Got to be honest with you, this is getting fun.
To best serve your customers, you have to know them personally. Only a local agent can do that.
Doug Pierce lives in Tornado Alley.
Hobby?
Collects stamps.
Excellent.
Annette Thompson, small business owner, hates cantaloupe.
Good.
The Lee family, twins, with another on the way.
Mazel tov.
That's meatloaf? That's still meatloaf.
Very good. Moving on.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
There are over 358 million trillion gallons of water on Earth. But not all water is created equal. Only 1/10000000th of 1% is filtered naturally beneath the Earth, with a distinct balance of minerals, and emerges crisp and refreshing enough to be called Arrowhead. Arrowhead 100% mountain spring water, born better.
Get to Nissan now for holiday bonus cash on almost every Nissan. This is Nissan Now. Get extra savings through Monday on sedans, trucks and SUVs, crossovers, $500 bonus cash on top of all other offers, plus 0% on most Nissans. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today. Bonus cash ends Monday. Get in now.
Things getting physical, certainly, maybe overanalyzing just a bit with double technicals handed out. Our defender of the game is brought to you by America's Navy. And the defense and all the work that has gone on, those busy hands, the passion we saw it in the first half, it paid huge dividends. They will need to find that America's Navy-like effort and defense in the second half as well. This is the game summary. Ty Abbott, the senior, the leading active scorer career, is out. Creekmer, a career-high 17 points. The freshman and the Iowa native, Klay Thompson, is warming, and I mean warming, in the second half. The other story is that ASU had a 6-point lead when the Cougars went into the bonus. They're now up by 2. Washington State is 7 of 11 from the line in the second half. ASU hasn't been to the line in the second half.
Well, when you start talking about turnovers and what ASU's done defensively, in the first half, Washington State had 12 turnovers. In the second half, Daron, Washington State's turned it over once. 7 steals for ASU in the first half, 0 steals in the second half.
Into the corner, Washington State grabs the lead. It's drained by Ludwig. Again, about a 27% free throw shooter. This is a Wazoo 8-0 run.
This is just one of those experiences. You have to have game time experience to learn how to deal with the lead.
Hawkins underneath. Is there something there?
Got to finish that.
Turn it over.
Got to finish that. Turnover leads to a fast break.
That is whistled as a block. A block on McMillan underneath. Washington State with their first lead since 16:51 on the clock in the first half.
Washington State bleeding for a goaltend call. Not gonna get it.
They may have a case. Ken Bone asking and asking the head coach. First free throw is good. What'd you see?
Boy, look at his left hand. Left hand's on the rim. Wow.
Hawkins sits down, Lockett in with 4 fouls. Washington State 17-9, 7-7 in the Pac-10.
So you can't interfere with the rim while the ball's in the air. And you saw Fields grab the rim with his left hand, swat it away with his right.
And that's another call that Ken Bone doesn't like. He has let this officiating crew have it. 13 free throw attempts in the second half by Washington State.
Yeah, did Kane hit it or not?
If it nicked Kane, then it's Washington State ball. It almost looked like it slid right under his arm. They play on, 6:40. Little jump hook. ASU ties the game up.
Boy, they needed that there, and they needed a bucket.
Well, they stopped that speeding train, or at least slowed it down. Kane's got 4 points. The assist there with Kriegman.
Oh, wide open Kuyper.
Thompson waited and waited. All the while, I think the ASU defense in that zone setup, as they were waiting for him to take off with the ball.
Well, and Kriegman came way out to the corner, and it left that block spot open, and that's what left Kuyper's open. It's just a misunderstanding on their defensive assignments. Kriegman should have stayed tight, should have stayed home, but instead he kind of went out to the outside. So you're going to see Kriegman out too far, leaving that open underneath.
Every foul from this point forward is 2 shots at the line for Washington State. ASU, the next foul that they earn will send them to the line for the bonus. And when I say earn, I mean with their offensive prowess.
This is where the Devils just have to dig down deep and fight. Well, that hurts a turnover. Kind of an unforced turnover, yes.
Thompson with his nose on the basketball right now. Playing with 23 points. And he's looking to add to that total. How about the miss? A second chance. Another chance, but this time ASU denies. Foul. Kriegman was found and a foul there. And that's 7. One would whistle for that one.
Boy, this game has really picked up its intensity and become a really physical game.
So they go to the line. Offensive rebounds a big part of this afternoon contest. Washington State with 14, ASU with 6. Lockett makes the first. Trent, a 67% free throw shooter. Not at all feared with regard to going inside. So he's been to the line 111 times.
And look at the free throw differences from halves for both teams.
A lane violation. Felix waves that last one off. A couple of seniors looking on. Trent Lockett having to carry the load while the senior Ty Abbott, the senior Rick Kuksix, because of injury, are both out. Abbott his shoulder, Kuksix the ankle. That's a mismatch there. Kriegman trying to work defensively against Casto. And a foul on Kriegman. Second foul on Chance. Casto is at the line. He's got 9 points. He's got 10 rebounds. Next Saturday, get ready for a full day of sports on a couple of channels on Fox Sports Arizona. The AIA High School Basketball Championships on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. It's spring training baseball. The Diamondbacks and the Rockies opening their new spring training home. Missed them both. He's denied the double-double for now. 9 points, 10 rebounds. We're tied at 59. 3 double-doubles this year for Casto. He doesn't have one yet. Leading Washington State. McMillan all the way. Puts it home. Jamel with 8.
And you got to keep doing that. You got to keep charging in. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep finding something.
Capers did not take advantage top of it, and he'll go to the line. There's your double-double, and a shot at a three-point play.
Well, again, I mentioned this earlier. When you're in a position defensively, and if you're going to foul, you just got to make sure it doesn't go in. That is a loose ball the Sun Devils almost come up with, but right there, you just can't let it go in.
Will DiOrio will check into the basketball game for Washington State. Corey Hawkins back in for the Sun Devils. Kenneth Felix sits down. That gives the Cougars the lead by 1. Four minutes to go in this basketball game. Hawkins streaks baseline. We've reached the point in this game, watching Bone and his reaction, where for both coaches, every call, at least for one coach, it's the wrong call.
When you come to Casino Arizona, show us your I'm here to win grin. Show us your double down pound. Your smile when you split aces. And all your I hit the jackpot faces. Show us the strut, swagger, and thrills that come with pocketing crisp $100 bills. Show us what fun looks like on your face the second you arrive at our place. Feel the win. Welcome to Casino Arizona.
Ford is leading the way in Arizona. And now, during President's Day weekend, your Arizona Ford dealers will match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Get up to $3,500 cash back on Super Duty, or up to $7,000 cash back on F-150. Plus, during President's Day weekend, we'll match your down payment up to $500 on select models. Hurry in, these offers end February 21st. Go to your local FordDealers.com, then visit your Arizona Ford dealers for a test drive today.
Now 3 can dine for just $9.99. Come share 6 freshly prepared pieces of the Colonel's world-famous chicken, any large home-style side, and 3 biscuits, all for under $10. Now 3 can dine for $9.99 only at KFC. Tastes so good.
It's a Pac-10 doubleheader on Fox Sports Arizona. At 9, the Sun Devils face the dangerous UCLA Brewers. Then at 11, it's conference leader Arizona squaring off against USC. That's Thursday on Fox Sports Arizona.
The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all comes down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford the risk. The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all comes down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford the risk. Let's go. Go hard and go home.
ASU has now officially reached the point where moral victories are meaningless. When you are 1-12 in conference play and you have come this far, you want to put a W in the win column. Put a notch in that column. He does, his players do. That's a chance for these freshmen, as all coaches say, to kind of become sophomores right before your eyes.
This is a great experience for these new players to be in. Because when you do come back to the second half, you've got a lead. It's a new kind of a game. You've got to be able to know how to play in those kind of circumstances. That's why it's so valuable for these guys to be in here right now.
Lockett at the line. He's dealing with 4 fouls as well as he drops the first one home. Hopkins High School, a basketball power. Minnetonka, Minnesota. A perfect senior year, 31-0. Pac-10 all-freshman team. And a special basketball player with 2 big free throws. Just 3 of 3 from the line, ASU, in the second half. Washington State has been to the line 18 times. They've made only 9, but they've been there a lot.
Look at Trent Lockett now, really keying on Thompson. Everybody knows where he is. Now Kuyper follows him out. Follows him back. See, that's that matchup zone right there. Everybody staying with the man.
All the way as the shot clock disappeared. There's a stop. Don't turn it over, boys. And they don't. Great stop. You were keying on the most important part. Because Thompson was a busy bee.
Yeah. He had 2 or 3 guys on him at different times.
He's stumbling. Can he regain composure? Does something good come out of it? It does not. Well off to the left and a miss by Corey Hawkins. And then a foul of frustration. And that's 2 shots. And that can't happen.
Now let's watch how ASU is keying on Klay Thompson. As you look at Herb Sendek trying to plead his case. You've got, you see his about you over there. Kuyper's over here. Now you watch him come back over. You got a pick there. Now watch, you're going to switch. Trent Lockett's going to pick him up. There's a lot of action. That's why that zone, that matchup zone is hard to play against, because there's concepts of man and then there's concepts of zone all mingled together. So it's hard to figure out what offense do you use to play against that. That was well run right there.
So another miss, 9 of 19. Washington State starting to look a gift horse in the mouth a bit. I'm going to regret this if, in fact, ASU wins. They're failing at the line right now. 9 of 20 from the line. Herb Sendek predicted if you send them to the line too much, you won't win this game. They sent them to the line too much. They're 9 of 20.
Yeah, on the season, they shoot just 70, but last time ASU played him in Pullman, they only shot 60% from the line.
By the way, keep an eye on Keala King. Fresh legs into the game. Top of your screen, number 21. Instead, it's a turnover. King is there. Keep an eye on King. He's got it. Moore banked hard into him. He is stunned a bit. But another beautiful pass. Keala King sets up Kyle King. Well, this young man's having a basketball game.
Is he not playing with a little bit of basketball swagger?
Why not?
That's exactly the way he played in high school. That's what they want him to bring. We're finally seeing it.
Under 2 minutes. Strip.
Oh, you got to finish this 2-on-1. There it is. Oh, boy. They're going to get a block.
The block, and he will go to the line. Casto went down hard. Ludwig took a spill. That's the vision. Boy, he loves to pass the ball.
Yeah, look at that. Look. Off the dribble. Just a one-hand little push-shove pass. Good call. He was not there.
And a timeout called by Washington State and head coach Ken Bone. Let's take a look at our United States Postal Service upcoming schedule for ASU. And this takes it to the finish line. It's at UCLA, at USC, Southern California next weekend. And then come out and support the Sun Devils here at home as Oregon, an Oregon State visit. Oregon at 6 and 7. They're battling Oregon State this afternoon. Oregon State at 4 and 9. Those are, of course, Pac-10 records. So we'll see you out here in Wells Fargo here in a couple of weeks. 65-62. Gotta admit, a little bit excited about Chance Kriegmer and Keala King. Just, I have to lay it out there for you folks. You think about what I'm saying. You think about it.
Well, if anything else, Darren, what they've done is they showed that they do have the skill to play at this level. I mean, they're kind of showing that a little bit this afternoon.
They didn't show it the other night.
No.
You and I sat and talked about it.
I'm telling you, this is the first time that we've seen it. Bringing what they had in high school. There was something there in high school that brought this coaching staff and their interest to these guys. And so you're just excited to see it happening, kind of unfolding. Given the chance to play, and you're seeing their skills unfolding right here.
Boy, how about that? The worst free throw shooting team in the pack. There's a miss by King. But they're doing a nice job. On the whole, they're now 8 of 9 after that miss.
If you watch Keala King's free throw form, he doesn't extend up on his ankles. He kind of stops right there. So you can see that. Unique. You don't see that very often. Usually you coach your kids to get up on their toes. He kind of stops.
Keala has 10 points. ASU leads at 4, minute and a half to go. Castro out of control. Shot clock is at 12. Timeout call by the head coach, Ken Bone. The double technicals had bodies pushing and shoving just a little bit. Since then, this is what we've seen.
See, that's that double technical right there, that little scrum. And then after that, you just see everybody working hard, fighting against each other. And I love this no-look shovel pass that we saw from King, looking one way, passing the other.
When ASU earned their spot in the bonus, they were down 1. They have cashed in more so than the Cougars have been able to do. Washington State has been a struggling team from the line in the second half. ASU tried to get themselves into trouble. Washington State is 9 of 20. 20 times they've been to the line. Herb Sendek did not want that. They went to the line 3 times in the first half, Washington State. ASU's 4 of 5 though from the line. Here we go. Now the shot clock is taken away. It's at 7-6.
That's what they wanted right there.
Quick turn and a miss. An offensive stand is thrown on the floor. They battle for that basketball. It's a jump ball. Sun Devil ball, alternating possession. Trent Lockett okay. He was grabbing at the wrist for just a moment. Diorio had the opportunity. And now a quick timeout, short timeout call by Jamel McMillan, the senior.
Yeah, Trent Lockett hurt his left wrist. No question. You could see him running back to the huddle, not moving that left arm.
Let's see if we can see.
Nice pass. That should have gone in. Somewhere in there, he hurt that left arm, and it could be right there. People grabbing and pushing. So you can see him looking at that left arm. Look at it. See, he didn't want to be helped up either with that left hand. And you'll watch as they lend him a hand. Trent doesn't want to give his left hand. He'll give his right hand to be helped up, but not his left, protecting it. There's something happened in there where he hurt that left arm.
He's back out on the floor. That's the good news. Since Christmas Day, Washington State is 7-8. They needed to win at least 3 or 4 in a row and go deep into the Pac-10 tournament for an invite. She did not win the Pac-10 tournament. This is the ultimate coming of age for some freshmen, having an opportunity to be a spoiler. Did they get the timeout? They did. Smothered defense, full court smothered defense. We told you Oregon and Oregon State battling today. Stanford and USC later tonight. That's at Stanford. And Washington is at Arizona. It was Washington State, as you look at the standings, if you lose this game, are they creating a scenario where the Pac-10 may just have 3 in the tournament?
Yeah, this would prove to be a tough loss for the Cougars if they can't come up with a victory here. You see, they're right on the cusp. They're right on the bubble. And going sub-500 really is going to work against them.
I mean, doesn't New Year's Day, folks, as our life flies by, feel like a way ago? Big Sun Devils fan, Big D looking on there. But, you know, life flies by. New Year's Day seems like a long time ago. That's the last time the Sun Devils won a game in conference play. Do you think it feels like a long time for us in our daily lives? How long do you think it feels like for them?
Well, they live it every single day. Every day at practice, they're reminded of that.
They have lost 11 consecutive games in Pac-10 play. A couple of seniors looking on.
This is a zone press. They're going to try and trap. Right there's where they wanted it, but Trent dribbled through it.
When they get through it, shot clock is at 18, game clock at 45, and a foul. They ate enough time off where that foul had to be handed out by Castro.
And there you had Trent dribbling through a little seam. And you can't afford to have that happen when you're in a zone full court press. You've got to put 2 feet together to stop that. Cougars didn't do it and let him slide through.
Lockett. Rainbow free throw. Drops that one in. So many people have pitched in. You see Marcus Jackson looking on, clapping. He had a start earlier this year against Tulsa with McMillan out. It's a 5-point lead. Make it 6. 11 consecutive conference losses riding.
Look at everybody keying on Thompson. Look, now you're shifting off. Oh, boy.
He drains it.
Look at Trent Lockett there again, hurting that left hand.
Yeah,
he can't even walk to
favoring the left
bench,
hand.
yeah.
But a quick 3 is hammered home by Thompson. He has got 26 points in the basketball game.
Yeah, there was miscommunication on this. You're going to see he's going to get the ball out here someplace, and there he's got it. Now, Trent's got him. Now, watch, here comes a pick. You've got to come out here harder and switch. You either switch or pull your man through. They switched. Kane didn't come out quick enough. And against a guy that shoots the ball so well, you've got to stay chest to chest on him. That didn't happen. That switch didn't happen tight enough.
Thompson has been very streaky. Did not start this game because of him being late to the team bus. He had a point where in the first half, into the second half, he missed 6 in a row. Then he got hot. And before draining that one, he had another streak of missing 6 in a row.
Well, I think I have a feeling he's not going to miss the bus again. I think he might have learned his lesson.
It's one thing to miss it. It's another thing to miss it and have it talked about on television. It's another thing to miss it and have your dad talk about it on television as well. Oregon and Oregon State coming up next. More Pac-10 basketball. As again, Oregon looks to move to 500. They are at home against Oregon State. The basketball civil war will resume after this basketball game is over. This has been a nice little war in its own right. By basketball standards.
Here comes the zone press against you. They're going to want to trap. You almost had it there. They're going to try and trap right there. Almost had it. All right. Get the foul. Put Trent to the line. He just hit 2.
And not to sound ruthless, but if you're Coach Bone, and I would imagine you play as ruthless as you have to, you know when a gentleman doesn't have use of a wrist and a hand, you hope to not have to foul him. They didn't make him put the ball on the floor. It's not the shooting hand, it's that left hand, the guide hand. And he missed. Still affects you though, shooting, correct?
Oh yeah. And just because you don't release with that hand, it's still a part of the motion.
4 of 6 from the line in the second half for ASU. 5 of 5 in the first half. And bangs home. 32 seconds to go, a 4-point lead.
That was a key basket or free throw there because now it's a 2-possession game.
Thompson, acrobatic. 2-point deficit for Washington State. Again, the pressure. These youngsters have got to come through.
There's that trap. There's what they wanted.
And Lockett is flung to the court in that trap. Trent Fearless again turned right into him.
That's what you want in a zone full court press. You want to get a trap. And once you've got him there, you don't want to let him out. And that's what I call that coffin corner there. They had him stuck with 2 sidelines as defenders. You're going to see it right here. Kriegner trying to find something. He finally gets it here, and you can see you got 2 defenders, you got 2 sidelines. It's exactly where they wanted him.
In and out. A chance to make it a 2-possession game. Now they won't be able to. No timeouts remaining for Washington State. 2 for ASU. 3-pointer from a tie. 70-67. Thompson pops free. A couple of Sun Devils on it. forces it. Nowhere close. Clay Thompson forced that shot. Forced that one. But it's an air ball. Underneath and fouled, and a chance to go to Ryan Ludwig, but 6.5 to go. The second one, I thought Thompson might have more of a look. The first one he forced.
And there's that second one. Boy, you can see Trent getting a hand up there.
Did he get a hand on it? He almost did. Bangs home by Ludwig. It's a 2-point game. You saw Dad, Michael Thompson looking on from up above. Dad saying he's not used to catching these games. It's tough to watch. What parent hasn't sat in that chair? And I don't care if your youngster's 8 or 18.
Boy, and here's the question. Do you force the miss on this and try and get the offensive board? Or do you make it and put the foul on right away?
Well, he made it.
For the make.
Well, the pressure has been a little bit stifling, so not a poor decision. And a big push here for Kriegman. The officials want to take a look at something over here. 5.5 seconds. No shot clock, obviously.
6.5. Hey, just put it back and we'll start again.
Yeah, it should be 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5.
Another second on there.
So a second disappeared. They'll move it to 6.5. You know, you want to talk about making shots. Kriegman's made shots. He's got 17 points. But inbounding the basketball in a situation like that, that's where a freshman can come of age, too. That's some pressure.
Yeah, this is a great learning experience for these guys, Daron. Win or lose, these guys are going to come away with something valuable.
The other story of the second half is that Washington State went to the line 22 times. They've made 12. This series was tied at 34 apiece coming in. There have been close games in the past. James Harden couldn't ice that one when both teams were ranked. Taylor Rochester for Wazoo, and Rochester draining that one. So close games in the past. This is another close one. Matter of fact, the last 29 games these two have played, Washington State's won 15, ASU 14. Last year here at home, the last game in which these two played in Tempe, ASU blew them out, 71-46. That's not the case.
But ASU's going to want to catch this ball on the inbound pass on the move. You don't want to freeze up right there because you know the foul's coming. You want to catch this ball on the move so you can get away from a defender, not get fouled.
McMillan inbounds the basketball, so they shifted that. It was Kriegman that was handling the pass. They go with the senior. And now Kriegman will go to the line. He will do so with 17 points. If you're just joining us, Kriegman, the freshman, 17 points, 5 of 8 from long distance. Keala King with 10 points, but has really shared the basketball in a dynamic manner. Trent Lockett with 20. And he misses.
Well, that's a heavy place for a freshman to be in. And I tell you what else looks different here, Daron. This is a different looking free throw because you only have 4 red shirts in the line. Everything looks different, so you can see that right there. ASU guys aren't in there. They're back to play defense. Everything looks different. Everything feels different here. This is a mental shot here.
And he makes the second. And Klay Thompson will look for the basketball. They move it up court. 3 in the basketball game. Ludwig for 3. And it rings in and out. And the wait is over. The Sun Devils, for the first time since New Year's Day, are a winner in the Pac-10. Ludwig is beside himself. He thought he had the winner.
Wow, what a great game. It just says a lot for these young players for ASU to just hang in there and finish.
Abe Ludwig, the redshirt junior out of Bend, Oregon, was ready to high-five his teammates. Instead, the Devils were high-fiving.
And from our angle, too, Daron, that's right in front of us. That looked like it was going in. Wow, little short. This is from our angle right here. This is what we saw. Boy, it looked like that was going in. Little short.
So the 11-game losing streak in Pac-10 play comes to an end. Use any cliche you want. The elephant's out of the room. The albatross is off the neck. Here's another cliche. The freshmen, they may have become sophomores today.
Yeah, I tell you, they're going to take away not just the win, they're going to take out how to do it. So there's a lot of valuable learning that came out of this game. And they get a win.
Do get the win, as you said. They are victorious. Oregon and Oregon State going toe-to-toe. We'll be back with you Sun Devil basketball Thursday at UCLA at 9. For more info, visit foxsportsarizona.com. He's Tom, she's Jody, I'm Daron, saying so long from Tempe, Arizona, where it's been a pleasure this year on a local level to cover Herb Sendek's club. I know they've expected better, but they have handled themselves with class, with work ethic, and with poise. And today, for some freshmen, it paid off.
They're coming. Seems like from every wireless carrier. You may have heard them already. The doubtcasting, the empty comparisons, while they shout them at the top of their lungs to try to blur the lines. In the end, just ask yourself, does the network work? This is America's largest and most reliable network. Verizon. Built so you can rule the air.